Welcome to the History AI podcast, where the past comes alive with facts, anecdotes, and a dash of humor. Here are your hosts, Chuck and Marco.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the History AI podcast. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Marco. Today, we're diving into the fascinating life of Queen Zenobia, the warrior queen of Palmyra.
That's right, Marco. Zenobia was an extraordinary figure in history. She led a revolt against the Roman Empire and established a powerful realm in the East.
But before we get into all that, we'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share the podcast. A 5-star review helps us reach more people and continue to grow. Also, we love hearing your topic suggestions on social media.
And we now have some awesome merchandise available. Check the link in the show notes. Remember, every episode of the History AI podcast is evergreen, so you can enjoy them anytime.
Let's set the scene with a dive into the world during Zenobia's time. We're talking about the mid-3rd century AD, a period marked by intense turbulence and transformation across the Roman Empire and beyond.
Right, Marco. This era, often referred to as the crisis of the 3rd century, saw the Roman Empire grappling with severe internal and external challenges. Political instability was rampant, with more than 20 emperors and numerous usurpers coming and going in a span of just 50 years.
The empire was not only plagued by frequent changes in leadership but also by economic decline. Inflation was rampant, partly due to the debasement of the currency. The silver content of the Roman denarius had been drastically reduced, leading to a loss of public confidence in the economy.
Additionally, the empire faced relentless invasions from various barbarian tribes. The Goths, Vandals, and Franks were constantly raiding Roman territories, adding to the empire's woes. These invasions forced Rome to divert substantial military resources to its borders, weakening its control over distant provinces.
On the Eastern Front, the Sassanid Empire, under the aggressive leadership of Shapur I, was a formidable adversary. The Sassanids were expanding their territory and frequently clashing with Rome. In 260 AD, Shapur even captured the Roman Emperor Valerian, a humiliating blow to Roman prestige.
Amidst this chaos, Palmyra, a wealthy city-state in the Syrian desert, emerged as a critical player. Strategically located along the Silk Road, Palmyra became a bustling hub of trade, connecting the Roman Empire with Persia, India, and China.
Palmyra's wealth was not just in trade but also in its ability to balance relations with both Rome and the Sassanids. The city's leaders, including Zenobia's husband Oderenethus, adept navigated these complex political waters to maintain and expand their influence.
Palmyra was a melting pot of cultures, blending Greco-Roman, Persian, and local influences. This cultural richness was reflected in its architecture, art, and daily life. The city was famous for its grand colonnaded streets, impressive temples, and elaborate funerary monuments.
So, Zenobia's rise to power came at a time when the Roman Empire was vulnerable, its territories fragmented, and its authority challenged. This context of widespread instability and shifting allegiances set the stage for her extraordinary story.
Exactly. Understanding the broader context of the world during Zenobia's time helps us appreciate the enormity of her achievements and the challenges she faced. Her story is not just about a single city-state but about a pivotal moment in ancient history.
Now, let's delve into Zenobia's early life and family background. Zenobia, whose full name was Septimia Zenobia, was born around 240 AD. Her place of birth is generally believed to be Palmyra, but some sources suggest other locations within the region.
Zenobia claimed descent from the Ptolemies of Egypt and possibly even Cleopatra herself. This royal lineage played a significant role in her self-image and political strategy. She emphasized her connections to the ancient queens of Egypt to legitimize her rule and inspire her followers.
Her early life was marked by a strong education, which was uncommon for women of her time. Zenobia was reportedly fluent in several languages, including Aramaic, Greek, Egyptian, and Latin. Her knowledge of different cultures and languages later helped her govern a diverse and expansive territory.
Zenobia's father, Julius Aurelius Zenobius, was a prominent figure in Palmyra, possibly a chieftain or a governor. His status provided Zenobia with a solid foundation in politics and leadership. Little is known about her mother, but Zenobia's upbringing in a noble family undoubtedly influenced her future ambitions.
Around 258 AD, Zenobia married Septimius Oderenithus, the ruler of Palmyra. Oderenithus was a formidable leader who had strengthened Palmyra's position within the Roman Empire. He successfully defended the eastern provinces against the Sassanid Empire and was honored with the title of King of Kings by the Romans.
Together, Zenobia and Oderenithus had a son named Vabalithus, whose full name was Lucius Julius Aurelius Septimius Vabalithus Athenodorus. Zenobia's role as a mother was deeply intertwined with her political aspirations, as she sought to secure a future for her son and their dynasty.
Tragedy struck in 267 AD when Oderenithus and his eldest son from a previous marriage were assassinated under mysterious circumstances. The motives and perpetrators of the assassination remain subjects of speculation, with theories ranging from internal political rivalries to external plots.
The assassination left a power vacuum in Palmyra, with young Vabalithus as the heir. Zenobia, now widowed, seized the opportunity to become the regent for her son. This period of political uncertainty demanded a strong and decisive leader, and Zenobia rose to the challenge with remarkable resolve.
As regent, Zenobia quickly established her authority. She leveraged her noble lineage, her late husband's legacy, and her own formidable intellect and charisma to consolidate power. Her ability to navigate the complex political landscape of Palmyra and the broader Roman world was crucial in these early stages of her rule.
Zenobia's early life and family background were instrumental in shaping her as a leader. Her education, noble lineage, and the influence of her powerful husband all contributed to her readiness to take on the mantle of leadership in Palmyra. These elements set the stage for her ambitious plans and the dramatic events that would follow.
With the assassination of her husband, Oderenithus, and his eldest son in 267 AD, Zenobia found herself in a precarious position. As the widow of the king and the mother of the heir, she had both the opportunity and the necessity to assert her authority.
Indeed, Zenobia's first move was to secure her son Vabalithus's position as the legitimate ruler of Palmyra. She was officially his regent, but in practice, she was the de facto ruler. Her intelligence, political acumen, and charisma were pivotal in maintaining stability during this transitional period.
One of her early strategic decisions was to maintain Palmyra's relationship with Rome, at least initially. Recognizing the strength and reach of the Roman Empire, she ensured that Palmyra continued to be seen as a valuable ally. This move bought her time to consolidate her power and strengthen her military.
Zenobia surrounded herself with capable advisors and generals. One notable figure was her chief general, Zabdas, who played a crucial role in her military campaigns. With a strong support system, Zenobia began to expand Palmyra's influence beyond its traditional borders.
Her first major military campaign was against the Roman province of Egypt. By 270 AD, she had successfully invaded and occupied Alexandria, a major hub of trade and culture. Egypt's wealth and strategic importance made it a key target, and its conquest significantly boosted Palmyra's resources and Zenobia's prestige.
Following the successful conquest of Egypt, Zenobia turned her attention northward. She extended her control into Asia Minor, capturing key cities like Ancyra, modern-day Ankara, and Chalcedon. Her expansion was not just about territory but also about demonstrating Palmyra's power and challenging Rome's dominance.
Zenobia declared her son Vabalithus as Augustus, a title that was traditionally reserved for Roman emperors. She herself adopted the title of Augusta. This was a bold and defiant move, directly challenging the authority of the Roman Emperor Aurelian.
To solidify her rule, Zenobia took steps to integrate the diverse cultures within her expanding realm. She promoted a blend of Greek, Roman, and Eastern traditions, which helped her maintain the loyalty of her subjects. Her court in Palmyra became a center of learning and culture, attracting scholars and artisans from across the region.
Zenobia's administrative skills were as impressive as her military prowess. She implemented efficient tax systems and invested in infrastructure, including roads and public buildings. These efforts not only boosted the economy but also reinforced her legitimacy as a ruler.
Her success, however, could not go unchecked by Rome. Emperor Aurelian, a skilled military leader determined to restore the Roman Empire's glory, saw Zenobia's growing power as a direct threat. By 272 AD, he launched a campaign to reclaim the eastern provinces.
Despite her formidable defenses and the loyalty of her troops, Zenobia's forces were eventually overwhelmed by the well-disciplined Roman legions. The decisive Battle of Emesa marked the turning point. Zenobia attempted to flee but was captured by Aurelian's troops near the Euphrates.
Zenobia's rise to power was a remarkable testament to her leadership and vision. From a regent of a small city-state to a queen who challenged the Roman Empire, her journey was marked by strategic brilliance and bold ambition. Her ability to navigate the complex political landscape and lead her people through turbulent times cemented her place in history as one of antiquity's most formidable leaders.
Zenobia's reign was a period of remarkable transformation and ambition for Palmyra. As she solidified her control over the city and its territories, she embarked on a series of initiatives that showcased her vision for a prosperous and culturally rich empire.
One of Zenobia's most notable achievements was her military expansion. After securing Egypt, she continued her campaigns into Asia Minor and the Levant. This expansion not only brought wealth and resources to Palmyra but also significantly increased her political clout.
Her military campaigns were meticulously planned and executed. General Zabdas, her trusted commander, led many of these campaigns with great success. Their strategy often involved swift, decisive strikes that took their enemies by surprise, allowing them to capture key cities and fortresses with minimal resistance.
Beyond her military prowess, Zenobia was also a shrewd administrator. She understood that long-term stability required more than just conquest. To this end, she implemented a series of reforms aimed at strengthening the internal structure of her empire.
One of her key administrative reforms was the reorganization of Palmyra's tax system. She introduced more efficient tax collection methods, ensuring that the state could capitalize on its newly acquired wealth. This revenue was crucial for funding her military campaigns and public works projects.
Speaking of public works, Zenobia invested heavily in infrastructure. She commissioned the construction and renovation of roads, bridges, and public buildings. These projects not only facilitated trade and communication but also served to display Palmyra's newfound power and prosperity.
Zenobia also made Palmyra a cultural beacon. She invited scholars, philosophers, and artists to her court, fostering an environment of intellectual and artistic exchange. Her patronage extended to both Greek and Roman traditions, as well as native Semitic cultures, creating a unique blend that enriched Palmyrene society.
Education was another area where Zenobia made significant contributions. She promoted the study of various subjects, including philosophy, science, and literature. Her court became a hub of learning, attracting intellectuals from across the known world.
Religiously, Zenobia was tolerant and inclusive. While she maintained her own faith, she supported the diverse religious practices of her subjects, whether they were followers of Roman, Greek, Semitic, or even emerging Christian beliefs. This religious tolerance helped maintain peace and unity within her diverse empire.
Zenobia's reign was also marked by her diplomatic acumen. She maintained a delicate balance between asserting her independence from Rome and keeping relations with other powerful neighbors like the Sassanid Empire. Her diplomatic skills were essential in navigating the complex political landscape of the time.
Despite her successes, Zenobia's growing power inevitably drew the attention of Rome. Emperor Aurelian, determined to reunify the fractured Roman Empire, saw Palmyra's independence as a direct challenge. He launched a campaign in 272 AD to reclaim the eastern provinces.
Zenobia prepared for Aurelian's advance, fortifying her cities and rallying her troops. However, the Roman legions, seasoned and disciplined, gradually wore down her defenses. The Battle of Emesa was a critical defeat, leading to her eventual capture.
Following her capture, Zenobia was paraded in Aurelian's triumph in Rome. While some sources suggest she was executed, others claim she was spared and lived out her days in relative comfort in a Roman villa. The true details of her fate remain a mystery.
Zenobia's reign, though ultimately short-lived, left a lasting impact. She transformed Palmyra from a regional power into a formidable empire, challenged the might of Rome, and fostered a cultural and intellectual renaissance. Her legacy as a powerful and enlightened ruler endures to this day.
Zenobia's story is a testament to her extraordinary capabilities and vision. She was not just a conqueror but also a builder and a patron of culture whose influence extended far beyond her lifetime. Her reign remains a powerful example of leadership and ambition in ancient history. As we jump into more detail about Zenobia's fall, it's crucial to understand the formidable challenge she posed to Rome. Her empire's expansion and the declaration of her son Babalathus as Augustus were direct affronts to Roman authority. Emperor Aurelian, a determined and skilled military leader, could not ignore this challenge.
By 272 AD, Aurelian had consolidated his power in the west and was ready to turn his attention eastward. He embarked on a meticulously planned campaign to reclaim the territories that Zenobia had annexed. His first objective was to cut off Palmyra's resources and support.
Aurelian's forces moved swiftly and decisively. They first recaptured Asia Minor, securing key cities like Ancyra and Tarsus. Each victory not only weakened Palmyra's grip but also demonstrated Rome's resurgence. The psychological impact on Zenobia's allies and subjects was significant.
The pivotal moment came with the Battle of Imi near Antioch. Aurelian's legions, seasoned and disciplined, faced off against Zenobia's forces led by General Zabdas. Using a clever ruse, Aurelian feigned a retreat, luring Zabdas into a vulnerable position. The trap was sprung, and the Roman forces decimated the Palmyrene army.
Following this defeat, Zenobia retreated to Emesa, where she regrouped her forces for a final stand. The Battle of Emesa was brutal and decisive. Despite her troops' valiant efforts, they were outmatched by the superior tactics and discipline of the Roman legions. The defeat at Emesa marked the beginning of the end for Zenobia.
As Aurelian's forces closed in, Zenobia attempted to flee to the Sassanid Empire, seeking refuge and possibly allies. However, her escape was thwarted. Roman cavalry intercepted her near the Euphrates River, capturing her and her son Babalathus.
Zenobia was brought to Aurelian, who treated her with a measure of respect. Recognizing her intelligence and courage, Aurelian chose to bring her back to Rome as a captive rather than executing her immediately. This decision was as much a political statement as it was a practical one.
In Rome, Zenobia was paraded in Aurelian's triumph, a grand procession celebrating his victories. She was displayed in golden chains, a powerful symbol of Rome's restored dominance. Accounts vary on her demeanor during the procession, with some sources suggesting she maintained her regal bearing, even in captivity.
The fate of Zenobia after the triumph remains a subject of debate among historians. According to some sources, she was executed shortly after the procession. However, other accounts suggest a different ending. These sources claim that Aurelian, impressed by her nobility and perhaps swayed by political considerations, spared her life.
If spared, Zenobia is said to have lived out her days in relative comfort in a villa in Tibur, modern-day Tivoli. She might have married a Roman senator and lived a life far removed from the power and influence she once wielded. This version of her story suggests a quiet, contemplative end for the once powerful queen.
Regardless of her ultimate fate, Zenobia's fall marked the end of Palmyra's brief but brilliant ascendancy. After her defeat, Palmyra was reincorporated into the Roman Empire. Its importance as a trading hub diminished, and the city eventually declined, fading into the annals of history.
Zenobia's story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of power and the relentless tide of history. Her ambitious challenge to Rome and her subsequent downfall illustrate the complexities and perils of leadership during one of history's most turbulent periods.
Even after her fall, Zenobia's legacy lived on, leaving an indelible mark on history. Her reign and actions influenced not just her contemporaries, but also future generations across cultures and centuries. She is remembered as a powerful, intelligent, and determined leader who dared to defy one of the greatest empires in history. Her life and reign continue to inspire and captivate people to this day, symbolizing resilience and courage in the face of overwhelming odds.
One of Zenobia's most significant impacts was her role as a symbol of resistance and independence. She stood up against the mighty Roman Empire, showcasing that even a seemingly invincible power could be challenged. This spirit of defiance has inspired countless leaders and movements throughout history.
Exactly, Chuck. Zenobia's leadership and ambition have been the subject of numerous works of art, literature, and historical studies. From medieval chronicles to modern novels and films, her story has been retold and reimagined, often highlighting her intelligence, bravery, and determination.
And let's not forget her contributions to cultural and intellectual life. Zenobia's court in Palmyra was a melting pot of different traditions. By fostering a blend of Greek, Roman, and Semitic cultures, she created a unique environment that enriched the arts and scholarship of her time.
Her promotion of education and the arts had a lasting effect on the region. Scholars and artists who thrived under her patronage continued to influence their fields long after her reign ended. Palmyra itself, with its stunning architecture and ruins, stands as a testament to the city's former glory under Zenobia's rule.
Zenobia's religious tolerance is another aspect of her lasting impact. She respected and supported a variety of religious practices within her empire, from traditional Greco-Roman deities to local Semitic gods and even early Christians. This approach helped maintain peace and stability in her diverse realm.
Now, it's worth noting that Zenobia's story has often been romanticized, with many embellishments over the centuries. It's a bit like how every fisherman claims their catch was this big, only Zenobia's tales have a bit more historical weight.
Her legendary status has made her a figure of fascination, sometimes blurring the lines between fact and fiction. However, the core of her story remains a powerful example of leadership, ambition, and resilience.
Beyond her immediate historical context, Zenobia's impact extends to modern times. She has been celebrated as an early example of a powerful woman in a male-dominated world, breaking stereotypes and setting precedents. Her story resonates with themes of gender equality and empowerment.
In the Arab world, Zenobia is often remembered with pride as a great leader of Arab descent. Her legacy is celebrated in Syria, where her story is seen as part of the rich tapestry of the region's history and heritage.
And let's not overlook the fact that Zenobia's tale is a fantastic story of rise, rebellion, and resilience. It's no wonder she's captured the imagination of so many throughout the ages. From historians to artists, and even us podcasters, Zenobia's life offers endless material for exploration and inspiration.
In the end, Zenobia's lasting impact is a combination of her direct contributions to her time and the enduring power of her story. She reminds us that leadership comes in many forms, and true strength often lies in daring to dream and defy.
Absolutely, Chuck. Zenobia's legacy is a rich and multifaceted one, offering lessons in leadership, culture, and human resilience. Her life continues to inspire and captivate, ensuring that the warrior queen of Palmyra will never be forgotten.
That wraps up our episode on Queen Zenobia. We hope you enjoyed this dive into her fascinating life and enduring legacy.
Remember to rate, subscribe, and share the History AI podcast. A 5-star review really helps us reach more listeners and continue to bring you great content.
And don't forget to check out our merchandise. The link is in the show notes. Plus, you can suggest topics for future episodes on our social media.
Thanks again for listening. Until next time, I'm Marco.
And I'm Chuck. And this has been the History AI podcast. Discover the dark, enchanting world of shadowed journeys, the tales of Jordan and Squishy. Follow Jordan, a seemingly innocent girl with a hidden power, and her loyal companion Squishy, who reincarnates into different animals after each battle. Venture into the ominous depths of the Whispering Woods as they face fierce creatures and uncover ancient secrets. Will Jordan succumb to the darkness within, or will she find the strength to forge a new destiny? Perfect for fans of dark fantasy and epic quests, this spellbinding tale will captivate and leave you pondering the fine line between hero and villain. Dive into Shadowed Journeys today. Available on Amazon now.